He left without telling anyone where he was going, not because it was a secret, but because there were no words yet for what he needed. Some decisions live deeper than language, in the chest, in the hands, in the part of a man that grows quietly desperate when too long passes without something real to hold on to. So he packed what he needed and walked into the forest alone. There is a silence inside a deep forest that exists nowhere else. Not the silence of an empty room or a sleeping city, but something older, something that breathes. And on a gray morning in early autumn, a man walks into it and doesn't look back. He moves without hurrying. In a world that rewards speed, he has chosen slowness. His eyes read the ground, the trees, the way light falls thin through the canopy. He is looking for something specific. He will know it when he finds it. And then he stops. The tree stands apart from all the others, enormous, ancient. Its trunk wide and deeply grooved, its roots spreading across the ground like the fingers of an open hand. Its canopy reaches in every direction, filtering the sky into shifting pieces of gray and green. Beneath it, the ground is soft with moss, sheltered from the wind, quiet in a way that feels chosen. The man stands at the edge of that canopy and looks up for a long time. He is not just looking, he is listening, asking something without words. And somewhere in the stillness, something answers. He drops his pack, kneels, presses his palm flat against the earth. Then he is quiet. You could mistake this for hesitation, but it is not hesitation. It is respect. He understands that he is not choosing a building site. He is choosing a relationship with this tree, with this ground, with this piece of the wild world that has agreed, at least for now, to shelter him. The first hours are not dramatic. The man simply begins, slowly, the way any lasting thing begins. He clears the ground with his hands, moving dead wood aside, tracing the lines of the roots, understanding the shape of what he has chosen. He walks the perimeter again and again, measuring with footsteps and eye lines and the feel of the wind. He marks nothing. He carries his plans entirely inside himself. But something is beginning. You can feel it in the way he moves. There is intention now, where there was only arrival before. The first materials come from the forest itself. He does not take. He reads, looking for what has already fallen, what has already been given up freely. He finds long poles in the leaf litter, carries them back one by one, begins to understand how they relate to each other, to the ground, to the tree. There is something quietly beautiful about a man working with wood by hand, the way effort lives in his whole body, the way he pauses, tilts his head, repositions something, the way he is never entirely finished thinking, even while his body works. The frame begins to rise. One moment there are pieces of wood on the ground. The next, slowly, there is something with height, something casting its own small shadow. The first uprights are the hardest. They want to fall. They must be lashed and wedged and persuaded into angles that hold. He works through the morning and into the afternoon without stopping. He eats something small. He does not sit down. The clouds move above the canopy. The light shifts from pale silver to gold and back. By mid-afternoon, small birds forage in the leaf litter just meters from where he kneels, as if he has already become part of the landscape. Perhaps, in some small way, he has. The frame grows. With shape comes character. You can begin to see what it will be, something that belongs beneath this specific tree, in this specific light. Every angle, every decision felt into existence rather than calculated. The man steps back and looks at what he has made. Something is here that was not here this morning. He put it here. That matters to him. The second day begins before dawn. He lies still for a moment in the gray light, listening to the forest wake around him. Then he rises, goes back to the tree, back to what waits. The roofing changes everything. Before it, the structure is a skeleton. After it begins, the shelter becomes a promise of dryness, of warmth, of separation from the open sky. He works upward, layering material across the frame the way living things layer themselves, the way bark builds, the way feathers overlap on a wing. He is learning from the forest, even as he builds inside it. Below the roof, the walls take shape, not solid, but layered screens that break the wind and hold warmth while still letting the forest breathe through. And the floor, last of all, built up above the bare earth to hold warmth through the night, to give him somewhere to truly rest. When it is finished, he stands at the entrance and looks in. Dim inside, cool, sweet-smelling. Thin bars of filtered light cross the floor. The great root of the tree forms one wall. The trunk rises at the back like a cathedral column. The man is quiet for a long moment. Then he steps inside. The first fire changes everything. The flame takes hold slowly, hesitant, then certain, then breathing steadily. Warmth spreads through the shelter, and it becomes something more than structure. It becomes alive. It has a heartbeat now, small and orange, beating against the cool of the forest afternoon. He tends the fire the way you tend any living thing, with attention and patience and a willingness to give it what it needs. He sits close, lets the warmth reach his hands, his face, and something in his expression shifts, softens, in a way it has not since he arrived. This is the moment the wilderness stops being a challenge and starts being a home. He cooks simply, eats slowly, looks out through the entrance at the forest beyond. It looks different from inside the shelter. Bigger, wilder, more beautiful. The days find a rhythm. That is the quiet miracle. What was strange becomes familiar. What required effort becomes natural. He wakes inside the shelter, steps out, and reads the sky. He gathers, tends, rests, improves. A gap sealed here, a small refinement there. He learns the shelter the way you learn a person, slowly, through living with it, through discovering what it does when the cold deepens or the wind changes overnight. Above him, the great tree is a constant companion, its roots beneath his floor, its canopy above his roof. When the wind comes, the tree moves, and the shelter hears it, a low, gentle creaking moving through the branches like a voice. The rain comes at night. He hears it long before it arrives, a distant rushing through the canopy, growing closer until it is overhead and the world outside becomes a curtain of falling water. He lies inside and listens. The roof sheds it exactly as he planned. The inside stays dry, warm, whole. There is an emotion that arrives in a moment like this, one without a precise name in any language, but most people have felt it once. The feeling of being sheltered when everything outside is not. The feeling of having done something so ancient. It connects you to every version of the human animal that ever lived. He has made a roof. He has made walls. He has made a fire. The rain sounds different when you are dry inside it. It sounds like music. The morning after is extraordinary. The forest washed clean and bright, the moss deeply green, droplets on every surface of the shelter catching the returned light. The smell of the earth, rich and alive and new. He stands at the entrance and breathes it slowly, eyes half closed. He moves through his morning with the ease of someone who belongs here. That is the most significant change, not the shelter itself, but what happened inside the man while building it. He arrived as a visitor. He is something else now. Late afternoon, that long golden light that makes ordinary things look briefly precious. He sits near the entrance, fire small and steady, body tired in an honest and comfortable way. He looks up into the canopy. The leaves shift and breathe. Light comes through them in moving pieces, warm, alive. A single leaf releases from a high branch and turns slowly as it falls, catching light on one side, then the other, until it lands softly in the moss at his feet. He watches it the whole way down. He does not move. He does not speak. He is simply present, fully, quietly, in a way that is rarer than it should be in any life. The fire burns to coals. The forest darkens. He adds one piece of wood and waits. It catches. The shelter glows from inside, warm light leaking through the walls, out through the entrance, into the trees beyond. From the outside, in that last light, the shelter looks like something that has always been here. Like something the forest made, like a small lamp burning quietly in the dark, not to push the darkness back, but simply to say, someone is here. Someone built something with his hands and his patience and his belief that it was worth it, that it is always worth it, to make a place that is truly yours. He is not lonely. He is alone, but he is not lonely. There is a difference. He knows it the way only a person who has truly learned it can, not as an idea, but as something felt, deep and steady, like the roots of the tree beneath him, holding everything up from below invisibly, without needing to be seen. Somewhere above, through the dark canopy, the stars are out. He does not look for them tonight. He already knows where he is.